Time for our weekly segment of Happier at Home, and this week we're discussing advocacy for those with Alzheimer's disease. We're joined by none other than Deb Marcello with more for us this morning. Good morning, Deb. How are you?
Morning. Good. How are you doing?
Very well. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Listen, this is a very important topic, and it's touched a lot of people's lives. Alzheimer's. A lot of people are living with this disease as we speak.
Right. Yes. And I, in my profession, see it way too frequently, and it really devastates families. So becoming involved in the research, anything that you could support the Alzheimer's Association or research and development, it really helps the families of those that have been affected to feel that they're giving back and really contributing. And there are things that you can do that will help. And cumulatively, it feels that sometimes you can't make a dent in something like this, but you really can help if each individual really participates, and at least even in your own life, it helps.
So what are some of those events? What are some of the key things that someone sitting at home who says, you know, my grandfather has it, or a parent has it? What can they do to advocate not only for their specific loved one, but for the larger community that's impacted by Alzheimer's?
So as I said, there are research studies going on. There are things that you can do to help contribute to that. I mean, research studies, they, excuse me, in the past, even last year, there was a new drug approved called Aduhelm that was the first drug that really helped to combat the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Other studies are focused on prevention, such as for those who have the predisposition for developing Alzheimer's, and there's antibodies that they're developing now. So on June 21st, it's the summer solstice. That's the longest day. And the Alzheimer's Association across the country holds different fundraising events. And you as an individual can create a group, or you can do something on your own to be able to raise money to support the Alzheimer's Association and the research that they do.
You know, and I really like one of the slogans of the longest day. It's a day for fundraising to fight the darkness of Alzheimer's disease. And it truly can be a dark and debilitating disease. A lot of people struggle with loneliness in this fight, thinking that they're feeling alone in this. But that's so not the case. There are so many resources that are out there, and so much that is available for people in this community.
Right. So if you go to alz.org, you'll be able to find a lot of resources. Certainly a way that you'd be able to get involved in the longest day. And you can base it on your hobbies. You can base it a fundraising event on your loved one who has or had Alzheimer's disease, like fishing or cooking or gardening, sports teams, things like that. And if you don't want to get involved in a fundraising event or something like that, you could still raise awareness. A lot of people are on social media, especially a lot of younger people, and they are affected. They've had grandparents and parents with Alzheimer's disease. So contribute to the larger good by using hashtags when you're on social media, such as EndAlz, ENDALZ, or hashtag the longest day, and just bring the stigma or bring dementia and the Alzheimer's disease and just all the sequelae that come from it to light, so there is not that stigma involved with it, because so many families are affected by Alzheimer's and dementias.
If we can, I want to kind of switch gears and talk more about the advocacy behind care. Is there anything specific that individuals who have a loved one or a family member suffering with this disease should do to specifically use their voice when speaking to the healthcare provider or the home healthcare aides to make sure that they're getting the best service possible for their loved one?
Yeah, that's extremely important. Whether the person is staying in their home and receiving care or going to a senior community and receiving the care, it's important to let that caregiver know or the facility know what their triggers are for their anxiety. Let them know what their routine is. Let them know how they communicate. There may be so much often those with Alzheimer's can't communicate what they're feeling or if they're in pain, but those that live with them know that there are consistent ways that they communicate different things. So recording these, sharing them with the caregivers in that community or those that are coming into the home, that really helps. And definitely reach out and look for support groups, because you're not alone.
No.
There are people in every neighborhood that are dealing with this.
Absolutely.
So make sure that
Deb,
you're giving
thank you
yourself
so much for waking up. Important information. We'll post it all on foxrochester.com.